Good afternoon. My name is Captain Spry. I'm the investigator here today before you, talking about the fire that happened at 614 Mays Street and about the evidence and the admissibility of it. Quick overview: full alarm, first alarm response to this fire. They got in there. They had smoke showing from the outside, from the eaves, from the gable end vents. So they had exigent circumstances to make entry into the structure. Crews went in and they got a good knockdown. They had light smoke throughout the house until they got into the living room area, living room kitchen areas. Heavy smoke banked down to the floor with limited visibility. They found the seat of the fire near the television area. They put the fire out. At the same time, they were conducting a primary search of the residence until the owners showed up and said that there was no one in the structure, that everyone had been out and had been shopping. So they knocked the fire down pretty quick. Still had some heat in it. They were letting it cool down and waiting for the investigator, to show up. When they got called to another assignment, a full structure assignment with known victims, they had children that were trapped inside a structure fire. It was only 3 blocks away from this incident. So they were the first to company. They left this scene quickly after putting all their gear away, and the house was left unattended. The owners left. Then I showed up shortly thereafter. So there was a period of time when it was not attended. I didn't have anybody outside. The structure was still an ongoing scene from the initial exigent circumstances. There was a small delay, brief window when the fire was cooling down. And then I went inside because of the fire situation that had happened there. So there was obvious signs of fire. I could go into that, and waive the search and seizure and warrant requirements because of that. Specifically, when we think about Michigan versus Tyler, we think about them going outside, the firefighters going outside, and because the conditions wouldn't allow them to be in there to investigate, similar. And then there was a 4 hours before they went back in Michigan v. Tyler. This was a shorter duration. My guys were outside. They left. I showed up. I went inside to search for the evidence. The second case was, we talked about State versus Vader, and they talked about things like houses that appeared to be abandoned, and that people could go in. There wasn't any need for a warrant in that situation, that the fire department could go in and do that. What I found when I went inside the structure was it appeared possibly abandoned. All the furnishings inside were broken. There was no personal artifacts. There was no pictures. There was no anything. All the furniture, the furnishings were all in disarray and unusable due to the broken nature of them. My outside in investigation, from least involvement to most involvement, led me to the area of origin behind the television. I found an accelerant pour pattern, and I found a melted device behind the TV. This keyed me in on a possibility of arson. And if you look, the importance of this, when you look at the pour pattern here, this is unburned carpet, and this is a pour pattern here. That shows that this was some type of accelerant was used to line up to the where the TV was and get that device going. This can be mimicked and happen in flashover situations, but as we see, the carpet is still here, so it didn't go through a flashover situation. This with the device and the staging of the house leads me to believe that this was an arson event. So if we go over here, then we'll see other pour patterns here on concrete. So it doesn't have to be carpet, but in this case it was. You can still see the pour patterns of the accelerants being utilized. So because of Michigan versus Tyler and the State versus Vader, these two allow us to go in and use this information. It is admissible in court because we were waiting for it to cool down. There was time for it to cool down for us to then make entry. It was an extension of the initial fire attack, which did have exigent circumstances because of the smoke and everything showing out of the structure. We did have the occupants come back after I was on scene with a lawyer. immediately with a lawyer saying that we didn't have a right to be there. So that's why we're here today, to argue this, to argue this evidence is being admissible in this case. And again, I cite Michigan v. Tyler, where there was a period of going away from the fire, 4 hours in that case, then coming back, and it being an extension of the original search, the initial fire attack. And then also State versus Vader, where abandoned, uninhabitable houses, you can search those as well. This house had no personal effects of these individuals. It had nothing but broken and tattered stuff. So these were all clues that led me towards the origin, and is leading me towards pushing for an arson investigation on this and an arson determination. Thank you very much, and have a good day.